Hello, everyone. We have some pretty unfortunate news in regards to the follow up to a video I did a while ago about Matthew Hoover and Justin Irving. Now, for those of you that don't know, Matthew Hoover is the guy that runs the CRS Firearms channel. A while ago, he was arrested and charged with conspiracy and the manufacture and sale and whatnot of machine guns. Now, this manufacturing or alleged manufacturing of a machine gun in this instance was the auto key cards. This is basically a piece of metal with a drawing on it that you would have to cut out. And then, if you put it in a very specific type of AR 15, could make it into a machine gun. Now, none of the machine work was done. It was not a just simple pop the things out of the cards. I know decades ago you used to be able to get these lightning link type devices that would go into an AR-15. They looked like little business cards, but 99% of the metal cuts were already made, and you basically just pushed it out of the card, kind of like those little puzzles that you can get out of cardboard and whatnot. But that's not what these were. These were pieces of metal that were thin and had dimensionally correct laser etching, I guess is the right term for it, in the shape of a lightning link. Now, keep in mind, you can't put these in many AR-15s because most of them don't have the right setup and parts to actually work with them. You need the Colt SP1 style bolt carrier groups, which I don't think many people own. Now, they were actually charged, and Matthew was convicted of many crimes. These are felony crimes. Now, they were found guilty, which is crazy because, again, these are not machine guns. The state's witnesses actually all agreed, every single one of them agreed that as sold, they were not machine guns. Whether they converted it to a machine gun or not, which one of the witnesses actually said that he took that part, manufactured it into a machine gun, and it wouldn't work. He could not successfully make it. The ATF went as far as to get, I think, 3 or 4 copies and could only get one of them to work. And the way that they actually got it to work was by causing hammer follow. Hammer follow, for those of you that don't know in an AR-15, is when instead of the hammer locking back to the rear, it just is loose and follows the bolt carrier group all the way back home. If the gun is not perfectly in tolerance, what's likely going to end up happening is you're going to get a lot of light strikes, and it's not really full auto. That is a failure of the mechanism. So the ATF was able to get one of the lightning links to work after they did all of the machining. All of the machining had to be done. You had to cut every single piece. 100% of the work. Not 20% of the work, 100% of the work. They can only get it to work in one, and it was by inducing hammer follow, not by actually disconnecting the disconnect in the trigger, allowing the trigger to release once the bolt locks into place. No, that's not how they did it. It was just following the bolt home, essentially causing a malfunction in the firearm. This is how they were able to convict him of conspiracy and of manufacturing and possession of machine gun charges. I'm going to have a link to an AmmoLand article from John Crump. John Crump and Flying Rich have both been very involved in following this process, but something I wanted to shout out was Matt LaRosiere from Fudbusters. He and another lawyer have been working to actually do all of the work in the defense of their case. They were only helped minorly by Second Amendment Foundation, but there were no financial backing or support from any of the other large national 3-letter organizations, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish that this could have had a lot more money behind it. Right now, the biggest thing that you can do to support would be to support Matthew financially because he's really going to need it. His life is kind of screwed over. I'm going to have a link to the Give, Send, Go as well as his merch link that I got from Flying Rich. You can use those links, support them financially, because right now he's in jail. Right now he is in jail. Now, Matt LaRosiere and his team, they are going to be appealing this, or that's what they've said they plan on doing. Ultimately, that decision is up to Matt and Justin of what they're actually going to do. Matt has said that he would handle the appeal for free, or at least that's what it seems to have been indicated. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that on his Twitter, but they are going to need financial support if you want to do that and you don't want to use GoFundMe, because GoFundMe kind of sucks. They have a GiveSendGo link as well as you could use any of their merch links. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is kind of an interesting one. You know, my thoughts on this. I think that this kind of puts a chilling effect on a lot of what people might be willing to talk about. A lot of people brought up this idea of it's poking the bear. Oh, they were poking the bear. They were doing something they know that they weren't supposed to do. Matt reached out to the ATF and said, hey, is this okay? And they said, yeah, it's okay. Long time ago. So they kind of screwed him over. Now, the idea of poking the bear. Gun laws generally in California and nationwide are written in a specific way. Gun laws are written saying you cannot do this specific thing. Generally, everything else is assumed to be legal. So every time that you do something with a firearm that is legal, it is generally because the law does not prohibit it. It is probably not because a law specifically says you can do XYZ, for the most part. So this idea of you were poking the bear, everything that you do that isn't expressly granted you the permission of by the government is you also poking the bear. It's just that you decided that this was a little bit too far for you. Okay. Doing something that isn't illegal is not wrong. Doing an illegal thing that should not be illegal is also not morally wrong. It might be illegal, but it's up for you to decide what laws you choose to follow and break. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I just think the idea of everyone saying, oh, they were poking the bear, oh, they were asking for it, oh, they knew what they were getting themselves into, I think that is language that we should try to remove ourselves from. And if in the future I use that type of language, feel free to reference this video and say, hey, how do those two work together? Maybe things are different in different scenarios, but I think in this specific scenario, we should try to not use language that is essentially saying that the ATF and the government was in the right here. Because if you're saying that they were poking the bear, oh, they were asking for it, what you're saying is that the rules and the made up rules and laws that the ATF has put in place essentially by getting this conviction here, you're saying that those are valid and that those are valid organizations. It's just, maybe we should move away from that kind of language. Let me know what you guys think down below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.